Hey, it's your boy Sergeant Hooked Intentions. We're going to do another catch-up review for Zenkaiger episodes 28 and 29. Yes. So the Manga World episode and the Tennis World episode. Manga World episode was a lot of fun. Very, very creative for a Monster of the Week episode. I really, really enjoyed overall the Manga World monster. And also that he got Zuran, Kaito, and Majin trapped, and then Gowan and Vroon weren't. Neither was Ox. Really, really, like, visually was really entertaining. There's a really fun scene where Kaito is trying to find the monster and, like, steal his, like, I think the book back or something from him to try and, like, get, like, a sneak attack in him. And he's sneaking up to him. They're like, shh, be quiet. And he's all going really slow. And he, like, makes a noise like, hmm? And he's like, oh. And Kaito's like he's gonna be caught. And then he keeps going, and the guy's just like clearly saw him and just like flicks his wrist, and the little paintbrush makes him into a manga character thing. But it's really cool because in the rest of the episode, every time that Kaito and Zuran and Majin talk, it's within the comic panels, the manga panels, and it's really well animated and really well colored and detailed, and I like it a lot. It's especially cool later when they actually transform while still being like trapped in the manga world or manga illustration, whatever it is. It's really cool to see that the way that they do that, the transformations and everything are super cool. And we also learned that Zox is apparently a huge manga fan because he has clearly he's a pirate, so he gets treasure everywhere, and he decided that manga was a treasure, and so their plan to like lure out the monster is to drop like a bunch of their manga from his collection that he has to lure out the monster. So they do their transformation together, and we get the three manga, Zenkaigers, and the other two, or the other three, clearly, if you want to count two Kaiser as a Zenkaiger. We're getting pretty close to that, him like fully joining the team and like roll call and all that. And it was really entertaining. I think perhaps Stacy was in it for a little bit, maybe not as much. I don't remember exactly, but I do know they mentioned this episode. What's his name? Ijirood is talking about Isao, the dad. And that he still has him locked away, and that he's trying to get some ideas from him about, like, Toji Tendo stuff. I'm pretty sure they based all their stuff off of him and the wife, which we don't know where the mom is yet still. But anyway, and so you see the image, a little hologram image of the dad's head, and he goes, wait, he's like, well, you have been in stasis for 10 years without any mental stimulation. It would make sense. You wouldn't have any new ideas. Wait, mental stimulation, you say? Keep that in mind for the next episode. So overall, the Manga World episode was a lot of fun. I probably would give it a strong 8 out of 10 just because no real big huge story things happen until the very end of it. Episode 29 is the Tennis World episode. So we find out that Zox, and it leads off the last episode because he's actually reading like basically a mock-up version of Prince of Tennis, a manga. And the Tennis World monster is able to like hit tennis balls, and if it hits somebody, it turns them into a tennis ball. So we get all these little tennis balls, little eyes on them and stuff. It's really cute. And the beginning of the episode has Yachan and Majin out on like a little girl date, together, little, girlfriend's date. And she's like, don't tell the boys and blah, blah. And they're like, hee, hee, hee. And they're just having a good time. I love Yachan so much. But Majin has to go to help with the Tricendo that are attacking. So Yachan's there by herself. And that's when the world monster comes into view and hits some of the people, turning them into tennis balls. Yachan's by herself, which this hasn't happened yet, her being around a world monster yet. I mean, she might have been close to Retro World, maybe, but I don't think she's been around a ton of the world monsters. So anyway, she's there, and she's like, uh-oh, and he gets closer after he turns a bunch of people into tennis balls, and she goes, oh, wait, I don't have a Geartling. And I just love the idea that she, like, was ready to throw down, but then forgot that she's not a Zenkaiger, because we got that little funny, it's a nice callback in the first episode where he wanted her to transform with him, and we got that, like, dream sequence of them together, and she's like, no, 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 and pushes it away. So I don't think they're going to make that happen. If they do, it'll be a jokey one-time thing. I think if anybody that's not a Zenkaiger is going to become one, it'll be Flint, and we'll get to that in a minute too. But anyway, so she gets turned into a little tennis ball with her little hair and her eyes on it and everything. Majin's like, no, and she's like talking to her. The little ball has like moves every time she speaks. It's the show. Also, the theme song this week, the beginning of it has a bunch of tennis noises making this like music sound. This show is the most erratic, insane, enjoyable, soothing fever dream that I never want to wake up from ever again. I want to live in this show. This show is lovely. It really is. It's fun. It's fun. This show, the Zenkaigers, they every episode they wear a cool outfit, they make cool transformation, eat hot chip, and make monster die. But anyway, so they're trying to figure out how to stop the monster because Zox fights it, the tennis world monster, and realizes that he can't damage it. And it reveals to him it will only be possible if we were playing tennis. And so he talks to the team. He says, "I'm actually pretty good at it." They're like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, I've tried to like get my skills better with stuff, and that's one thing I've tried to be good at, and I found I've had a knack for it." So he goes in this whole training montage, and first it's just them all together with training gear on. Jiran's got like a little tank top on. I love it when the Kikanoids wear clothes because they're fucking robots. So I just love it that they think they have to wear clothes for stuff. But anyway, so they all have their little tennis gear on, and they all suck at it, and Kaito's decent. So he's like, "Oh, okay." And he teaches Kaito that yes, you can be like learn all the like exact everything about being perfect at tennis, or you can learn a way to use it to fight with. And so Kaito's like, "Okay." And he actually uses the racket, hits the ball, and it disarms Zox. He's like, "Oh, okay." So they're trying to learn how to like use the game to like find a way to defeat the bad guy. And we get this whole little goofy training montage, all these little cutaway pieces of like Jiran's in like a martial arts gi, or like a samurai gi, and he like has a katana trying to slice the ball and he misses. Vroon is like under a waterfall training. He's like Majin's training as well. And so they go up against the monster. And the whole time, Stacy tried to fight Zox, or not Zox, Kaito in the beginning of the episode, and Kaito had to leave because they had to, help with Yachan and everything. And we had a flashback for Stacy when he was a kid with his mom playing tennis, showing that he knows how to play. I really do think we're moving more towards a redemption arc for Stacy. I think he's going to start to like fully join the team at some point. I would think that they'd want to like fully have Zox being like the roll calls and stuff before they do that, but hey, I'm not the writers of Zenkaiger, I don't know, and they can take me on whatever wild ride they want to. But anyway, so the team is trying to do their best against the tennis world monster, and they're getting their butts kicked, of course. Not everybody. Kaito and Zox do well. They even transform, and they do decent, even in their super forms. But the tennis world monster keeps changing the rules. Like, they score on them, and it's like, nope, that's a miss, blah, 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 and all this other stuff. And so they keep getting their butts kicked, and Stacy actually comes in with the win and ends up defeating actually knocking the mask it has on, this like netting mask it has on. It hits the mask off, and then its powers are taken away in terms of it being invincible if you're not playing tennis. So they're able to, they do the first ever in the series roll call / final attack at the same time, which is really cool. Well, most of them, Zox isn't a part of it, but Super Zenkaiser and then the rest of the team transform and do their Buster, Zenkai Buster attack thing, destroys the monster, and then of course we get the big version, and they destroy that eventually. I think it's the Vru Majin combo, Zenkaido Vru Majin, destroys that, and afterwards Kaito talks to Stacy. He says, "Thank you for helping us save, Yatsude." Or helping us out, and he's like, "It wasn't for you." He's like, "Oh, I know, it was for Yatsude. I get it. Like, that's fine." Like, I like that Zox is like, or Kaito's like continually like, "I know you're a psychopath, but I still love you. Like, you're still a friend." And Stacy's like, "Whatever, blah blah blah," and then Zox even says, "Hey, you know what? You can be pretty fun sometimes." And you see Stacy, it looks like got kind of flustered and is like, "Shut up," and turns around all like tsundere and walks away. So I wonder if that's starting to hint more towards an actual redemption arc for him. I don't know for sure. If anything, I don't know if maybe they'll keep him and Zox to being like technically part of the team but never in a roll call or something. I don't know. I also thought it'd be cool if there was like some kind of purified form of what he has that would be part of the team, especially because his is based off of the thematically it works. His suit is based off of Battle Fever J, which was originally the first Super Sentai before they backwards recognized Go Ranger. So I like that it almost like fits thematically because his actor was originally going to play Zenkaiser, didn't get chosen. They chose Kaito, but then kept him in mind and made the Stacy character for him. He wasn't originally part of the story, like I said before. But it was a really fun episode. Really good character interactions. I really enjoy Kaito as a leader. I really do. I think it's interesting that he's not a red, but he's still like the leader and like a really cool character. Yeah, and I love the cast. I love the voice cast clearly for the Kikanoids, and in general, it's a lot of fun. I want to see some more moving on the villain front. I feel like Ijiru's going to be our final big bad. I don't get much of a threat from Bokowas other than he can pound the ground and make people. One quick second here, I just forgot about this. I forgot about this and I just remembered it. We have a scene partway through the show before Tennis World gets introduced or just after, where Bokowas smacks the ground like he does, like the running gag, and Brashtar goes up in the air as he's trying to explain things to Bokowas, and he literally starts like ping-ponging him back and forth with Gege, and it's literally ping-pong noises, and Brashtar trying to talk at the same. I love this fucking show. But anyway, really enjoyed the episode. That was a pretty strong one, especially because the very end of it, Stacy comes back to the Toji Tendo base and he's like, what is wrong with me? And he's like questioning what's going on, like, why did I help them, whatever. And Ijiru comes out, Stacy, I'm glad you're here, blah, blah, blah. And then out of the shadow in front of Stacy comes this new bad guy called Hakaiser, I think, who seems to be entirely robotic. But remember in the last episode, we talked about him saying mental stimulation for Kaito's dad, right? The going theory right now, which I picked up on this too, and then saw some other people corroborate this, what they think is that Isao, like either his mind, his body, whatever, is going to be within Hakaiser. That's what's happening. Some people also see that maybe Hakaiser will eventually pull away from the Toji Tendo, become good, and have like a different form because he has a lot of Toji Tendo logos on him that could be easily replaced with the Zenkaiger, little arrow thing. In the promo pics and in the promo for the episode, we do see the new weapon, the Zenryoku Zenkai Cannon, which starts as a Toji Tendo thing that he uses to summon like a bunch of one color ranger at a time, which will let Kaito do the same thing. And it's supposed to release some kind of a mecha as well. We don't know how this is going to work exactly, but yeah, it looks really cool, and I'm really excited for it. It's interesting that we're already on episode 30. Not sure how many episodes we're getting. I would think somewhere in the 40s. Usually Sentai gets closer to like 47, 48 episodes, sometimes 49. Which means we don't have like a ton left, but I mean, we still covered a decent amount of ground. So I'm hoping going forward that we're going to see more world traversal, figure out the stuff with Kaito's family and what we're doing with Stacy, and get into some more of the meat of the things that's going forward here. Because I really, like I said, I don't think Bokowas is going to be our final villain. If anything, I see Ijiru like absorbing his technology into himself and becoming the final big bad. I don't see Brashitara being the final big bad either. I see him basically just still being second in command until the very end. So anyway, really enjoyed it. I would give it a strong probably 9 out of 10. I really, really liked that episode. Coming up in the channel, I'm going to be doing pretty soon, once they've all aired, a catch-up review of Dino Fury, because internationally it's aired in the UK and France. So as soon as those episodes go up in a place I can watch it, I will finish watching those and do a review of those as well. I'm not going to go episode by episode, but just kind of talk about my overall thoughts of the rest of the season that was left after episode 11 that was on Netflix. So 12 through 21. So I think like 9-10 episodes or so. And also Revice episode 4. Pretty soon I'll do the review for that. Still haven't gotten my driver yet, but I know they're having production problems with getting a lot of those out and stuff like that. So hopefully soon with that. And also the Kuga Arkle. I also am thinking about, I found on Amazon the English version of Kamen Rider Memory of Heroes or whatever, the one that has 0, 1, O's, and double in it, for PS4, and it's the English language version I didn't know existed. So I'm going to be playing that pretty soon. If you guys want me to do like a Let's Play thing with that, I can do that. Or if you just want me to like play it and maybe review it, I could do that too. I'm really excited about it. I've heard good stuff about it, and it's a lot of fun. I also know going in, spoilers, you don't know this, but it's not really a big spoiler, that 0-1 isn't like a huge part of it because it was technically airing at the time of the game coming out and being made. So he's not like a gigantic part of it. He's in it, but not as much of the story as O's and Double, which is fine because I like O's and Double just fine. AG and Shotaro and Philip are fine. I love them. So anyway, like I said, if you guys would like, leave in the comments what you guys think about the episodes today, and if you would maybe like to see me review the game or maybe do a Let's Play, either way, I would be willing to do either thing or nothing. That's fine too. But again, thank you guys so much for subscribing. We're already almost at 230 subscribers, which is insanity to me. But thank you so much for the support. Thank you for watching, sharing, all of the good stuff, liking, disliking, all of its interaction. I thank you guys so much. But as always, to Hooked on Henshin, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.